Hello gamers, we are back with another video. I am Ryan, aka Vidja Gamer. Now this week we got something a little bit different. I was hit with a tag video. It's been a while since I've seen one of those on my channel, but I was tagged by Video Game Cadet. I will leave a link to his channel in the description below. Now he's a great YouTuber. He was on YouTube a couple years ago, did a bunch of pickup videos, live footage, great stuff like that. Disappeared for about a year, or took a break. He is back and he's putting out great content once again. Highly recommend you check out his channel. But the video tag that he hit me with was 3 items in my collection that I'm most proud of. Now, about a year ago, I did a video on three cool items in my collection. You will see one of those repeat today, but the other ones I've changed a little bit just because I think the stories behind them make them a little bit better for me as to why I'm proud to have them in my collection. So without further ado, let's get right into that. First up, a new old stock. This is boxed Sony Pocketstation. Now, the Pocketstation didn't receive a lot of press over here because it was never released in the United States. Now, I remember reading video reviews about this in the official PlayStation magazine back in the day about the upcoming release. It just never happened. What this is, it's a memory card for the original PlayStation, and it has a screen on it and buttons so you can use it as an independent little controller to play mini games that you would get off of physical discs that you bought. Final Fantasy, Spyro, Crash, that sort of stuff. It never happened. It's very similar to what the Dreamcast did with the VMU, and we just never got a release over here. It was an item that I always wanted, and when I saw it, I had to snag it up. And I picked this up in Costa Rica, and I was there for a couple weeks a while back in my previous job for a business trip. We were there training. You know, and you might think, wow, you get to travel for business, that's super fun. Like, yes and no. I worked for a big company, and corporate politics, they decided that a lot of the work that was being done here in the Midwest, you know what, it was better off suited for other regions of the world where it was cheaper to perform. And I was down there with a group of colleagues and friends, training teams how to take the jobs of the teams that we managed here in the US. So it was a little bit bittersweet, but the reason I look back on it so fondly is because, you know, as you switch jobs and life gets in the way and we all move on, do different things, yeah, they were my colleagues and it was for work, but at the end of the day, they were all my friends. And it was the one last hurrah we sort of got together before we all moved on, went our separate ways. And that's why, in addition to just this being an awesome item that I love to have in my collection, that's why it's extra special to me. So that's why it makes this list. On to the next item. This was, I think I picked this up just before I started doing YouTube. And this is a NES Toploader. Now, not super uncommon, but the prices have gone up lately. The NES Toploader was a revision of the original NES several years after, you know, the original model. I think the Super Nintendo was out by the time this thing came out. I did have a buddy when I was growing up who owned one of these, so I was aware of it. But as I became a collector, you know, several years ago, I wanted to get one back. And this happened to come up in a Craigslist lot with a guy who had a whole bunch of games listed. Everything was individually marked game-wise and about eBay prices. And then he mentioned that he had an original system and then a top-loading system. So we kind of come to a deal on a couple games, and then just out of the blue, figuring this was going to be priced kind of high, I asked him, what are you asking for this top loader? And he said $25. And now this came with the dog bone controller too, one of them anyway, and at that price, this was about 3 years ago, I still couldn't pass it up. It was excellent deal for 25 bucks. It was something that I always wanted in my collection. Because, like, primarily, I mean, I have a ton of games, as you can see. NES is what I really love, and that's what I'm attached to, and that's where a lot of my nostalgia is at. So to get a top loader was great, and this is the system that I still use today. And then this last item, this is a repeat from the other video I've done. But for those of you who haven't seen that one, the third item that I'm most proud of in my collection is just a simple copy of Super Mario Kart. Now you're probably thinking, what's so special about that? Everybody's got that game, it's common. I do have the box, I do have the instruction manual, I just can't display it, but here's the cartridge. The reason this is so special is because this is my dad's copy. My dad and I played some games together growing up, mostly Atari, Combat, Asteroids, that sort of stuff, but on the Super Nintendo, Super Mario Kart was sort of our go-to game. This is the one that I used to rent all the time when we'd play together on weekends. We're racing the circuit, you know, 2-player mode or going head-to-head, and just so many great memories there. And one Christmas, I rented this game dozens of times. I saved up and I bought my dad the Player's Choice version of Super Mario Kart. It was like 35 bucks back then. And this is actually his copy, original copy that we've had in our collection. And I keep it, and I will always keep it because of that. Just so many great memories of just gaming with my dad and having a blast. So that's why this is the item that I'm most proud of in my collection, and I will never ever get rid of it. And now, being this is a tag video, I have to pass this video along so some other people can tell us what they think are the 3 items in their collection that they are the most proud of. So I'm going to pick 3 people here. We're going to do, first up, Cartridge Fun. Now, Cartridge Fun is a newer YouTube channel, but he's actually somebody who lives in the same town I do, in the upper Midwest, which is sort of unusual to find another YouTuber in my area. Got the chance to meet him. I'll get into that in another video that I'm going to be doing. And he's got a great channel, gaming focused, does pickups, he'll do like sort of let's plays, did a video on the Switch, that being out 6 months and what his thoughts were. Just all sorts of good stuff, really nice guy. Go check out his channel, link in the video description below. Second pick, I will do Musty Hobbit. Now, Musty Hobbit I had the pleasure of meeting briefly back at MGC last year. Great YouTuber. He started a new video series recently called Second Breakfast. It's a weekly video series where he kind of goes over a topic and just his general thoughts from week to week on the gaming scene. Really good stuff. He'll do pickup videos also. He's also a big active member of the Cartridge Club, if you're familiar with that. So check out Musty Hobbit. Again, link in the video description. And then my last pick, somebody I haven't talked about on my channel in a while, but I've been at YouTube for about 4 years. I could count the number of channels that I've started following back then that are still around today on one hand. And one of them is my buddy Retro Rob, who has constantly put out videos, 2 to 3 a week, for as many years as I've been doing this. He does great videos. He does a lot of Atari stuff, pickup videos. The stuff he's been getting lately has been putting me to shame. And GPD, just retro handhelds, all sorts of goodness. I highly recommend you check out Retro Rob's channel. Great YouTuber, tons of content, good guy all around. I will leave a link again in the video description. So those are the 3 items that I am most proud of in my collection, and those are the 3 people that I have tagged. So Cartridge Fun, Musty Hobbit, Retro Rob, you're up. I would love to hear what your 3 items are that you're most proud of in your collection. So as always, everybody, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time.